Hi and welcome to the Market Alert for Monday the 20th of December 2021. So turbo taper sends stocks and bond yields lower on the week, and in fact they're actually lower overnight as well. The Dow down 400 points at the moment. Please Jay, can we have some more? Yeah, there'll be soon forgetting the tapering and increasing interest rates if the market continues to decline, especially in the run up to Christmas. This is most unusual. Marko Kolanovic expects a massive short squeeze into year end. Well, we'll have to see about that one. But then we have got the thinly traded markets between Christmas and New Year. The UK shuts more or less for a fortnight, whereas the US will be back on the Monday following Christmas Day. So it's still possible. It's still possible. But longer term, I agree with the first news item there. Powell, can we have more? And what they're talking about, of course, is QE. Don't be fooled, tapering and rate hikes can and will crash the markets. Absolutely. That's what happened in January 18. Go back and have a look. You know, it's December here. It was December, January. And they soon stopped it. And they're likely to do that again as well as the rich lose money. Silver looks sexy. We'll come to this a bit more. Powell is flying the plane directly into the mountain at the same time. The gold-silver ratio is back above 80-1. Really good article, actually, if you want to have a look at that. And implied volatility, as we've not looked at it for a while, this was up on Friday back to 1805 between the two high and lows that we've had recently, so still within a bit of a range, but above the 20 bar moving average again, indicating some weakness there. So have a look at the markets. We'll start off with the Dow. This is the Dow. Let me just do this and make sure that you can see everything there. So the Dow is down overnight. It was down on Friday, sailing through the 20 bar moving average and the 50 EMA. Also the 89 as well, which were drawn in from here to here. So the market straight through this overnight, down about 400 and something points, I think. Let me just see if I can get a ballpark here. 500 points, let's say, without being too precise. So the Dow down already 500 points on the, it is about, because it was down 532. So you're heading towards 500 points down overnight, which is quite unusual in the lead up to Christmas. It's normally fairly quiet, but obviously not the case here. Just drawing some fibs on the downside. We've got the green line here, we've got the red line up here. These are the areas of where the market's likely to find some support. 62 is obviously the next downside one, which ties in more or less with the 200 moving average as well, give or take 50 to 100 points there, which is nothing for a move in the Dow. But we're through that 89 and the 50% as well. So I'll be keeping an eye on those this morning. In the 30 minutes Dow, you can see that we've sailed all the way through Friday's low, S1 and S2. The S3 is very important should the market continue to move lower, because that area of support, generally 90% plus of the time the market will stop. If we have a look there, 34,454. So let's just go back to the daily chart. So 78% is tying in with the S3, is that right? 3447, let's just go back. Yeah, just in that area. Wow. So still a good move down to this level as well. Let's just have just get an idea of where we are down to the S3. Another 400 points, so but never say never. I've seen the Dow move 1,200 points or more in one session, so it's not impossible at all. The one that is closer is actually the DAX, so let's have a look at that. So in the daily chart of the DAX, you can see also moving sharply lower here as well. Let's again just get a ballpark of where we are. We're down to around where we're currently trading. This is down, you see there, 277 points, so nearly 300 points down on the DAX at the moment. So we're heading for the 89. We've already gone through the 78, and this was drawn in from here to here. So the 15,170 is important. Just go down to a 30-minute. Oh, we're already at the S3. There we go. So this is an area where you should start to see some support coming in. And if we go back to the daily, yeah, we're coming to 89, aren't we? Which ties in as well. So it's important that the market holds at this level. Failure to do so, we'll see it move sharply lower, but then try and come back to the S3. I'll go find the 30-minute and come back to the S3. But at the moment, the market's certainly struggling there. As we can see, it's trying to bounce, but failing to do so at the moment. A lot of demand on the downside. They're trying to hold the market, but it's not holding. Very low volumes, though, of course, which we can see here. So it'll be interesting to see what happens at 7 a.m., which is 15 minutes away when the market opens there. A quick look at Friday's trades on the 2-minute chart. The first two were losers, a 25 and a 26-point loser. The market had no direction. It was indicating that it wanted to go short. We got divergence in the stochastics there. We got a lot of volume. Couldn't make its mind up. It then eventually failed at 89, which we can see there. We were oversold. The stochastics crossed. We've got the resistance all the way here. You can see all of that real price resistance. We've got potential weakness. We closed back below the 5-bar moving average, and then the market was able to move lower. Traded down to Thursday's close. Managed to get back above the 200 MA, but once it closed back below, it then continued lower. And again, you get the waves as the market came back to the 20-bar. Closing back below the 5, the market down again until it found support down at the BRN. The market traded sideways to lower, continued down, and then when we kicked off in the afternoon session, we had a potential buy signal here, which had everything going for it, and the market then once again failed at the 89%. Sort of a mirror image of what it had in the morning. So the market came back down, stopped at 89, and we see prices then trading sideways back to the 50-bar moving average where it found resistance and at the S1, and then closed below. The first trade was a 2-point loser as the market came back, took out the break even, and then we moved down with a 21-point profit down to here until prices closed back above the 5-bar moving average. We were then oversold. We got a crossover, we get the green, and then we see the market moving higher, which turned into a 90-point win, which totaled the profits to 126 points, less the 51 that we had in the morning session with the first two losers. So not too bad after all, but the first two were messy as the market tried to find direction and continue from Thursday's session, but failed to do so. Let's have a look overnight, because obviously the market's been selling off sharply here, and have a look at this price action down at the S3 level. You can see the volumes picked up a bit there. We're oversold. They're going to try and hold it at the S3, very important level. If they don't, it will move lower, but then it will attempt to try and move back. That's generally the pattern when you get to the S3, because it's an extreme. If I just go back to a bigger time frame, it's an extreme of movement away from the DP. So they'll try and bring this back if they can. And finally, in the metals, well, the inflation, the bank rate increases, etc., hasn't lasted long for silver. Let's just bring up the silver chart. You can see already that Friday they managed to bring the market back once it traded up to the 20-bar moving average and the 89%. From here to here projected, sorry, it won't be from there projected back, it will be from here where we had, and there was a line in there, but it got taken out on Friday, and then the market came back. So 89 it's struggling with at the moment. Overnight also being moved to the downside, which you can see there. They're trying to bring it back again above Friday's low at the moment. Meanwhile, gold is not selling off as much and is sideways to high. If we go back to the gold silver ratio, again you'll see we're at 80. This is an area where generally you'll get a turn in the market, but at the moment prices are still staying at that 80 level. You'll see the resistance here. It's actually quite fascinating to look at. Where we've always gone back to 80, there's been an up move in the underlying silver price as it narrows the silver gold ratio there. So let's just go back to the chart. I find it, there we go. And then the dollar, which is interesting, shot up on Friday, and actually the metals did hold, which I'm surprised by. Showing a bit of weakness overnight at 78%, and if it continues to move lower to the downside, it should support the metals market. One quick thing I just noticed that I've forgotten to cover is the news. Today we don't have any news, but let's have a look for the rest of the week. It's going to be an interesting one because obviously we're heading into the Christmas weekend. I mean, you can see there Friday is where it's all over. By Thursday, to be honest with you. Nothing for today, and tomorrow it's going to be a market making its own direction. Wednesday is just US news. In fact, there's only US news for Wednesday and Thursday, and that's it. So we've got core PCE price index. That's the only high impact news item. So the market's going to have to make its own direction this week. Okay, that's it for this one. Like I say, keep an eye on the S3s in both the Dow and the DAX. The DAX is already there, and we'll see what happens when the futures market opens at 7 a.m. That's it for me. Have a great day, and as ever, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.